All right, I cannot believe I did that to y'all. Such a long video yesterday. I didn't know. I don't time these out. I mean, like right now, I know I'm starting at 6:12. I'll try to make a note of that, but I pause, I'll go get water, answer the phone, do stuff, So we're going to try to make this very quick, very painless. Let's run through it. We're going to go through comments, Michael's prep, and my prep. This will be Michael's prep, things he's done today, over to my prep, which is going to be very long. So we got to get going, got to get going. I'm not saying that real deaths don't occur, but I don't trust any that are publicized death of major stars, sports stars, musicians, politicians, celebrities. Show me the dead bodies or it didn't happen. Yeah, and they could show you a clone dead body too. There's just no telling. I mean, because they all seem to match up with certain things in gematria. So it's like it's a ritual for them. Anytime that they are controlling the narrative in your head and affecting you emotionally, or, with somebody dying, it's a form of trauma-based mind control. Death is like a trauma. It's mind control that they're making you grieve or wonder about this. A lot of people loved Kobe Bryant, or they loved Robin Williams. You know what I'm saying? So they're affecting you, and it's a form of witchcraft, and it's been referred to as lesser magic when they do stuff like that. Definition of lesser magic. So greater and lesser magic, also known as high and low magic, or collectively satanic magic, design types of beliefs in terms of greater magic applying to the ritual practice, meaning psychodramatic catharsis to focus one's emotions for a specific purpose, and lesser magic applied to the practice of manipulation by means of applied psychology and glamour to bend an individual or situation to one's will. That's all this ritual is, the illness. Straight up. That's what it is. It's a gigantic psychological operation. Thanks for the effort on these videos. To God be the glory. We read that the other day. I didn't heart them, I guess. Yeah, we read them in notifications, but thank you, Steve. And now you got the heart and thumbs up. So when they get the heart, they disappear from the this area here. Okay, Christian said Trump picked Arizona to make his 2022 comeback. Trump has a big year planned, and he's holding his first rally in a state he narrowly lost by D. Hunter Schwartz on January 7th, 2022, 10 p.m. Trump Save America rally scheduled for the 15th, Florence, Arizona, southwest of Phoenix. Okay. Adam, excuse me, southeast of Phoenix, east of Eden. Got it. All right. Trump has held a rally in Arizona on 7/24/2021 in Phoenix. The full buck moon was visible 7/23, 7/24, which, by the way, is the full moon in Aquarius. The sun is in Leo at that time, and the moon is in Aquarius. So I'm going to start making sure we're specific what I name these through the astrology also for you to pick up on tells. That's why I really like this wolf full moon. It's in Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Trump is the moon child, and it is the opposite zodiac moon, even though it's a different month. It was in late June when the tower fell. The opposite of June is December. So let's now move it to the zodiac sign of the moon. It was the full moon in Capricorn, opposite Capricorn, because the sun was in Cancer in late July. By July 24th, the sun was in Cancer. So the moon would be opposite in Capricorn. Opposite Capricorn is Cancer. That puts us over here when the sun is now in the reversal of Capricorn. The opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. So the full moon is in Cancer. The full moon is always in the opposite sign that the sun is in on that day. Confusing? I went kind of slow, but it's basically Cancer and Capricorn, which are opposite each other. These are the opposite zodiac moons. One when the tower fell in Miami on the day of the full moon. And we suspect the tower without the horn on top will fall on this full moon on the 17th. Even though he has a rally 2 days previous, I would rank in my mind, not your mind, I'm not trying to manipulate your mind. In my mind, that would be the biggest day. Because if he goes down on the 17th, also because of the Sicario movie, where we really detailed his right eye darkened and her eye was also had the deadly wound. That was the land of wolves ending to that movie. And Sicario 2, which I did not show you, he opens up looking like a werewolf, but not Benicio del Toro, is the Josh Brolin character. Beginning scene, Sicario 2. So Benicio del Toro ending scene of Sicario. All right, so we're going to show you the wolf.
I was eating because I was stressed out, candy bars and chips and donuts, gaining weight. But since I started Noom, my plus.
So we come over specific. His right eye stays dark and her eye is wounded. And he gives her the statement.
This is the land of wolves now.
Not very loud, is it? Okay, so let's pump up the volume. Let's go, Benicio. Try again.
You will not survive here. You are a wolf. And this is the land of wolves now.
So he closes looking like a werewolf, telling you it's the land of wolves. And Sicario opens up with the other character, Josh Brolin, now looking as a wolf. Got it? So Donnie Darko told us he was going down January 2nd. Maybe. So, but the right eye being poked, if I'm not mistaken, in Donnie Darko took place on the 18th. Right? Because it was 8 days later. It was a series of 8. It went up 2, then 10, then 18. But it also gave us the 8th, I think, is a date. So that 17th, 18th range. Well, what do we also like about the 17th? We also love about the 17th is that on the third day, on the 19th, is when they're turning up the technology in an iPet goat. That's what he's connected to. He's connected to the technology, an iPet goat. Heliofont. So we get over here. They got it on Vimeo, don't they? There's the YouTube version. Now it's all about Valentine's Day in this one. So they work very hard to confuse us. But opposite the buck moon, we have the solar eclipse of December 4th, the opposite time of year. If he doesn't go down, I guess all of this is going to stand for the Chinese New Year of the Rabbit, which is 2023, which is the total solar eclipse on Hitler's birthday. I just have no idea that it would take that long for them to do what they're going to do in this time, in this world we're living in. But so he's connected to the technology here. And the horn blows. The horn of Daniel 7. So if that's what's about to take place within days from now, then that's what's going to take place. If you're telling me it's going to take place in February, then we'll move everything over to February. I mean, this is fallen. What we are dealing with are the fallen angels. If they can deceive Eve in the garden, they can deceive us with their tells. Be ye as wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves. So we're trying to sift through. The only way you can properly sift through this is through the Holy Spirit. That's the only way. We are not a match for them. No match. Just to show you that you're no match, wait until they inhabit the bodies of the humans after they worship the image of the beast. And just like the movie Venom, which I forgot to speak of in yesterday's video, the movie Venom also shows you that they're entering into the human body, using the human body as an avatar, and the human host will die off. So when they get torment forever and ever, it's the fallen angels that get torment forever and ever. Humans do not get eternal life in either direction. Save the clock tower. Did we ever gematria that one, Michael? Save the clock tower. I could have swore you did. Whenever we went through the, but you'll know. Trump last held a rally in Arizona, and if we did it, we don't have to go back over it. I was just curious. They all seem to be pointing to one thing or the other. They all seem to be pointing to January or February. Trump last held, but I'll tell you what I told the other day. We looked at something, I forget what it was, and it portaled over to March 20th. It was a very specific date for something very specific in gematria, and it portaled over to March 20th, and he could go down on the 20th, which is winter, and rise on 322 in spring. I mean, this can go on and on and on, and you're like, well, what's the snow all about if it keeps moving on into May or June? Well, it's always snowing at the abyss in the North Pole, and that could have been a figurative little city at the North Pole, because he comes spinning out of the abyss, and it's always cold at the North Pole. Now we live on a flat circle of the earth, so it's the center of the earth. So, but it's always cold there. So, you know, I'm assuming it's always able to snow there. And that's where he comes up through the abyss, which is at the North Pole. So this could all move all the way in. Something came up on one of Michael's deals. August 30th popped up. He could die. He could rise on the third day. when Sirius, the dog star, begins to rise in the east with the sun in early to mid-August? Who knows? Y'all just saw the buck rabbit. Could have a buck rabbit in there. It could be at the buck full moon. But right now, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the 15th at that rally. We will look at every rally. But the beauty of the rally is he could rise on the third day on the wolf full moon. It's all of those sets of odd numbers. It's 15, 17, 19, 21. Die on one, rise on the other. In the movie, The Dark Knight Rises, 121 is coded throughout that he's going to rise on January 21st. Which means he would go down on the day of the technology. The 121st day of the year is May Day. So he could go down on May 1st, rise on the 3rd, or go down April 29th and rise on day 121. You just move on to the next sets of clues that the fallen angels have given us through their predictive programming. We just always have to make sure everything is not in conflict with the Word of God. But the Word of God is pretty specific in that all we're waiting on is a deadly wound to kick everything off. If you told me World War III was going to start before the deadly wound, I would tell you that's not how I see it in the Word of God. It's got to be white horse, red horse, black horse, pale horse, in that order, which is death or receiving the crown. And Jesus received his crown through his death. Oh, and we think that's Hebrews 2:9. If it's not, it's Hebrews 9:2. So this crown is given to him. He doesn't earn it. It'll be faked. Trump last held a rally in Arizona and Phoenix. Full buck moon was visible 7/21, 7/23. The Phoenix Suns lost the NBA championship to the Milwaukee Bucks 4 nights later. It's big. It's very big. We thought he was going down then. We're not scared to think summer. We thought he was going down then. I was just watching, Christian says, I was just watching Seinfeld episode, season 8, episode 6 for 86. The fatigues at the end of the episode, Frank Costanza said he feels reborn like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Normally people say the ashes. Oh, hang on. My bad. I misread that. At the end, Frank Costanza says he feels like a reborn. He says he feels reborn like a phoenix rising from Arizona. Normally people say from the ashes. Video titled Seinfeld, Frank Costanza has a flashback. Let's see if I can find it. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Christian, either way. But hang on just a quick second. Oh, it's Frank's dad. And nobody's in fatigues. I got confused. Let's go. Ready? Thank you, Christian. Good stuff.
You know, Frank, you can take a break.
No breaks. I feel reborn. I'm like a phoenix rising from Arizona.
Okay. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Anyway, so we'll take a look at that. And big heart there. We got all the comments in. We're caught up with comments. Let's go through Michael's. Michael gave me something called, this movie called Go Tigers was also released at the same time, at the same film festival that Donnie Darko was released, I think he said. Go Tigers released at the same 2001 Sundance Film Festival as Donnie Darko. Yes, which is on 119. And it's the Year of the Tiger, of course, coming up on February 1st. Now, I let Michael know the release date was September 21st. Remember, through the portal, the series of 37s. You go through 37 days in both directions. You go backwards 37 days, you land on the solar eclipse. You go forward 37 days, you land on the snow full moon. You go backwards 37 plus 37 days, you land on that October 28th date. That is the birthday of my second wife, Candy. And Candy is the C and Y. That's what the name Candy spells, C and Y. And so when you portal up 37 days plus 37 days, you do land on the C and the Y. You land on March 25th, which is the end of the arch that I've explained to y'all a few times. That through what I just explained to you, there is an archway that opens on the 28th and closes November 21st, because November 21st portals over to March 1st. Well, October 28th is day 301, which also is another way to say March 1st. So, and just like March 1st, let me see if I can just show y'all real quick. When you go up 37 days, you land on February 16th. You go back 37 days, land on December 4th. Snow full moon and solar eclipse. 37 plus 37 is 74. It goes back to October 28th, which is day 301. When you add it back through, it's 325. If you subtract 25 days from 74, I believe that's 49 days. Is it 49 or 50 days? It's going to be 50 days through the portal. You land on March 1st. When you subtract it, you land on November 21st. November 21st is day 325 for March 25th. So it's like they form an X, and X marks the spot at transfer portal day, or they form an archway. That's the way I picture these in my mind. So only through the transfer portal does it work that way. And it does not work on a leap year like that. So the Go Tigers film was released at your 37 plus 37 plus 37, which is 121, I think, or 111, 37, it's 111. It's 111. So when you now go to the next phase of 37, remember 37 is the 12th prime number, and 12 is a number for the church, specific. So when you go back 111 days, you land on September 21st. And you go up 111 days, you land on May Day. So very specific. That movie, Go Tigers, came out on the third set of 37s, which they all seem to have very deep meanings through our portal. That's why the transfer portal was such a tremendous find through the Holy Spirit. It was a tremendous get, I guess. Jonah Hill made this statement about playing of the role of chief of staff of the president. I thought that if Fry Festival was a person and that person had power in the White House, that statement made no sense without the gematria that backs it up that we went through in yesterday's. That person had power in the White House. And that was the movie called Don't Look Up, a 2021 film. And that was the Jonah Hill quote. And my friend, I had a friend of mine that he's know him through my son. He's my son's age growing up. He's now showing me all this fake NFL stuff. So I'm glad he's at least on board with that. Doesn't quite understand the biblical stuff. And that's okay. That just happens with people. Everybody's going to get stuff at their appointed time. But he was telling me that there's a lot of tells that I speak of in this movie. Don't Look Up. He's like, you got to watch it. And I would have to stream it on Netflix. Fry Festival comes to 148, 176, and 68 comes to Donald J. Trump. So he's speaking very specific about Donald J. Trump in the White House, is what Michael's saying. That the statement, I thought, now remember, it comes to Donald J. Trump. I thought that if Donald J. Trump had power in the White House, it's basically what he's talking about. He's letting you know that it's about Trump. Everything's about Trump. Don't Look Up. Fry Festival specific matches Donald J. Trump in 3 of 4 base ciphers. That's exactly who Jonah Hill was talking about regarding to his inspiration for his role of chief of staff. That was his role in the movie. He was chief of staff in the White House. I Have the Tiger background. Don't forget that the group that wrote and sang the songs was named Survivor, and on the B side of the album is Take You on a Saturday. Okay, that would put us at the 15th. Fantastic. Who can't wait for that? It would be very fitting because that gives everybody the opportunity on Friday to get out of town. They have a 3-day weekend coming up because of MLK Day. It's a 3-day weekend. So you can't get your money out because of markets. You just yeah. Very interesting. Read my circled background of this song according to the writers. In their quote, they're claiming that naming it Eye of the Tiger, which comes to 888, was too obvious, and they considered a different name. What are they talking about? Nothing is obvious about it other than you have the spirit of truth when it is extremely obvious who and what that song is about. All right, so we circled something about the background. I Have the Tiger, Wikipedia. May 31st, day 151. Come down to background. In an interview with Songfacts co-writer Jim P., who shared credits with Frankie Sullivan, explained the song's title. It's Peterick, Jim Peterick. I can pronounce it now that I look at it. At first, we wondered if calling it Eye of the Tiger was too obvious because of the right eye wound in the year of the tiger. And he could go down, of course, on that Saturday. Now, if he's going down on the other Saturday, Take You on a Saturday, It would be the Saturday before the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl would be the ritual while all the chaos is going on in the streets. They'll be cutting back and forth to chaos in the Super Bowl. We interrupt this program. You know what I'm saying? And their halftime show would be the ritual. If he goes down on the Friday, like Jesus did, that would be day 211, per the lyrics of the people performing this year's halftime show. Tried to set me up for a 211, messed around, got caught up in a 187. 187 is the number for murder where they will be. Let Me Ride. Would that be one of the songs they sing in their Super Bowl halftime show? The initial draft of the song we started with, It's the Eye of the Tiger, is the thrill of the fight, rising up to the spirit of our rival. Their rival is God and the sheep, of course. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and it all comes down to survival. We're going to call the song Survival. In the rhyme scheme, you can tell we had set up rival to rhyme with survival. At the end of the day, we said, are we nuts? That hook is so strong. And rival doesn't have to be perfect rhyme with the word tiger. We made the right choice and went with Eye of the Tiger, which is what they put on the field at LSU, which, if Nick Saban wins, gives him his 8th national championship overall, 7th at Alabama. So it's the 7 kings of Mystery Babylon, but the 8th king is specific to the Antichrist, who is of the 7, because he has allegedly died and yet returns. The 8th is of the 7. That's all in Revelation 17, verses 10 and 11, which is all very specific verses to the twin trumps going down and one rising back up. The 7 kings through Mystery Babylon. Are not perfectly given here, but good enough to where we can speak around it. The 5 that were fallen are goats. 2 were turned and became sheep, as the Babylonian Empire, run by Nebuchadnezzar, was called by the Lord, and he wrote Daniel chapter 4 himself. Oftentimes referred to himself in the third person. It's not Darius the Third, it's Darius the Mede, who said the exact same quote, almost verbatim that Nebuchadnezzar said concerning Daniel's God. So 7 kings, 5 are fallen. In other words, 2 are not. And the University of Florida just hired their 7th coach with Steve Spurrier beginning. 2 won national championships. So 2 were not fallen, 2 were not fired. The rest were all fired. And so he's now the head coach. He's hired and in place. And so the University of Florida represents the Antichrist as the devil's advocate. LSU represents the right eye wound, specific. Alabama represents Satan, and as the ghost in the machine, as their strongest fraternity is called the Machine. It's one of the strongest fraternities in the nation. Above or equal to Skull and Bones. Just depending on how you look at the power structure of the country. Georgia Bulldogs have the G in the colors of red and black, specific to the Church of Satan, and they have the big G on their helmet. So very good, Michael. Very good work there. Thank you, sir, for that. Do you remember this speed skater named Dan Jansen, who was the best in the world with multiple world records, but would always fall during multiple Olympics? That's so funny. How'd you pick up on that? That's great stuff. I have to do more research on him, but the first time he fell during the Olympics was February 14th, 1988. Oh boy. These people are just told what to do, and their lives are Yeah, I remember him. They're scripted for them, aren't they? He was born June 17th. His height is 188 meters. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I'd find a clip of him falling, but I'm running out of time. She's the supposed writer of the Hunger Games, Susan Collins. The first thing that stands out, and the last name is Collins. That's supposedly one of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. Yup. Susan Collins matches January 12th in all 4 ciphers. February 4th and February 12th in 3 ciphers. Well, we're very excited about February 12th because that is on your Baron Saturday. You know, when you get in that range, I'm looking at the 11th through the 17th on all that. Yeah. Yeah. She also matches White Horse Rider and Wall Street Crash. Yep. Groundhog Day portals over to the cold full moon. That's how you know. That's how we knew that Janice Tennant, along with many other reasons, that it's this specific January 10th that is the transfer portal day. The way it portals back and forth through everything. And that's why we feel strongly that we're just, you know how you got these Geiger counters or metal detectors and you get close to something and it just starts going. I mean, Michael and myself, I don't want to put words in anybody else's mouth, but Michael and myself definitely are just, antennas are just way up, or the metal detector noise is just at full volume, basically on every day moving forward. I was big on today. The 9th, portaling to the 11th, 9/11. You know, but moving forward, now you got the 10th. Could go down on transfer portal day. That was the plane crash. They crashed a jet. The movie Tenet, crashing the jet. The movie Tenet, crashing the jet. And so we've looked at this before.
Starting out with any new project management software.
And it's all about the New York Jets. Everything's about crashing a plane. Y'all do remember when my right eye was hit with a paper airplane on December 17th, which portals. I thought that was the strangest thing that had ever happened to me. And I think that portals over. Yeah, that portals to February 3rd. Because it took place on the 17th. It was the last day. If that's 23 days through, then it's 24 days. February 3rd, which is when the bomb going off in Groundhog Day. It was also when he was set free. But that's the day, December 17th, that I got hit in the right eye with a paper airplane. It literally just stuck there for what seemed like a solid second before it fell. No injury, but it landed in my eye. Hit the eyeball. I was like, he's going down today. He's going down tomorrow. You know, but it happened. It was real. Can't make it up. I wouldn't lie to y'all. But getting back to the Tenet plane crash, you know, should I have watched Tenet instead of going halfway through Sharky's Machine? And I'll finish that later. I hope y'all are getting a kick out of those scenes. We haven't really got to him at the podium yet, but all of the tells in the movie Sharky's Machine on my Telling Truth 3 channel. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 10 videos up. Some as short as 49 seconds and some as long as 8. And we're just looking at the movie. You can definitely tell that it's about the shark, the beast out of the sea, and the ghost in the machine. And Burt Reynolds is Sharky. They call him Shark. And there's another gentleman playing the role of Satan. And then, of course, there's Donald Hoskins, who has 5 children. And they make the statement, who shellacks his hair. And then you will see him at the podium, and Trump has the same mannerisms as this guy, I think on purpose, to show you the ghost in the machine. And I'll get back into that movie next week. I'll get into Tenet, maybe next. Dark Knight Rises, all of that. You know, I can only watch them on the weekends now. I do have a 3-day weekend next week, so hopefully I can finish Sharky's Machine and then get into one of them. Because I would like to know how many minutes, what hour you are into the movie. It might give you a date when they crashed this plane.
I would have run. Okay, like.
And we're talking about Christopher Nolan was the director who did The Prestige about cloning Christian Bale, and the Dark Knight series with Christian Bale. Christian Bale, Bale on Christianity. All their names are very specific.
You want to crash a plane?
Daniel Craig, who plays 007, and also had sex with Lucifer, and the girl with the dragon tattoo with the right eye injury, and he had the right eye injury in Skyfall. Daniel Craig. It's all about the book of Daniel.
But not from the air. I'm so dramatic. I would have run.
Not crashing a jet in the air like the Twin Trumps. We're not going to be that dramatic this time. This time the jet will be on the ground. This time Trump will be on the ground. It's not
Jet off the taxi.
It's not the Twin Trumps going down due to jets flying in the air.
Taxiway, breach real war, start fire.
You'd breach the real war and start the fire. And start fire. And in Bane, in that scene, they speak of the fire rising. Well, the phoenix rises from the fire. The fire burns, creates ashes, and the phoenix rises out of it. That's the Antichrist. That's the One World Trade Center being risen.
Well, how big a plane? That'll be fine. But, well, actually, the gold. Sir? Oh.
Now that man there,
Smoke, blow the back, drop it. Swift extra. Well, and if you do it?
this man here was in the movie yesterday. Now, I don't know if that means whatever clue they're giving you in this movie for a date. I have to go back and watch it. That you would really back it up a day because he was in the movie yesterday.
One assumes terrorism, but no one's died. Is everybody on this plane vegetarian? Because all I got here is.
You get 701, that's July 1st, 882.
Vegetarian. So that looks like meat, but this way, gentlemen.
Of course, it's all about gold and stock market crashing, money, gold. I think we looked up that in Gematria, Michael, Norsk freight. Norsk freight, all one word. I mean, if you Gematria that and through the numbers of the Gematria, it could give us a date, or a date could show up in that name. That might be big. So you got a jet crash, a plane crash again. The fire rises. So Tenet movie, Wikipedia. It came out at the end of summer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, August 26th. And September 3rd. But that's your transfer portal. That's what you're looking at there. As above, so below, the moving of time and events backwards and forwards through the transfer portal. Janus, the month that moves forwards and backwards. This number 10, spelled 10 in either direction. Says delayed 3 times because of the COVID-19, the God pandemic. That was all part of the plan, of course. So we are done with Michael's comments. Thank you, Michael, for that. Sorry that I gave you more stuff to look at if you want. Aether, Betty White. This is comments from Aether. Betty White, death date, December 31st, 2021 to February 2nd, 2022 is 33 days. Okay, I like it. Betty White, rider of the white horse, right? February 2nd is also the third day of the year. It is Groundhog Day. The market may finally crash on this date. February is the worst month other than September. February is the second worst month other than December. So this also happened before February 19th. Oh, he's talking about the stock market. Worst months for stock market. Okay. Also, they said October 29th, 1929 to February 2nd, 2022 is 33699 days. It's also 92 years and 13 days. 9-2 is 11 and 13. 9 plus 11 plus 13 equals 33. Okay, it's 332 days left in the year. 33rd day of the year. October 29th, 302 day of the year, and 63 days left in the year. Split the 6 and it's 3, 3. Same days as February 2nd. All right, very good. Thank you for that. The Beast and the Geek, Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, and Iron Man. I'm not sure why I sent this to myself. Sometimes I see stuff, want to do stuff. And yeah. we went over that opening of Jack Parsons series, Angel, Strange Angel. Wasn't that a wolf moon? Opening scene of Strange Angel. I think it's this one because it looks like I looked at it all the way through. No, this is just the credits. I'll try to find it for you real quick. This was titled Strange Angel Werewolf. Now, this series was very specific to Aleister Crowley and them creating Donald Trump. It was called the no. Hang on. Called the Babylon Working. And this is the AI that came to my channel called Angel White and said, why do you refer to me as AI? Never did get back into the conversation with me, just left me, but y'all see the moon. It's a lunar eclipse. Trump was born on a lunar eclipse. And what they did is they did this thing out in the desert around February or March because they were bringing in the moon child. They were doing all these satanic rituals because they knew the Antichrist was going to be born.
She takes a picture.
I don't know what happened. Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. People die. Let's try it again.
Spiritually.
This far, rather, he had been forgotten. Perhaps that's
This is who invented rocketry and NASA. Here's your 538 code right there. This is a very strange series that CBS put out.
My wife thinks you got a screw loose.
Not someone like this.
With this as the opening scene for Strange Angel. Strange Angel, season 1, episode 1. Now that's a lunar eclipse. We don't have one of those. That's what Trump was born under. Now, is he being born again on the wolf full moon, even though it's not a lunar? The beast went this way. Here comes the arrow. Commentary fair use, commentary for educational purposes. Angel White, using Angel White's video. So, what did it hit? Did it hit the wolf? Is that the wolf full moon? Lunar eclipse on a wolf full moon? But Trump was born on the lunar eclipse, so he represents the lunar eclipse part of this blood moon. Well, they just pretty much put that up at the United Nations, didn't they? From January to March 1946, it's well documented that occultist Jack Parsons and Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard performed a series of satanic rituals called Babylon Working, and they spelled it like that. I never watched the final part of it. When it got to the Aleister Crowley scene.
This
is the dawn. Ooh, and that's 6:14 into this clip, Trump's birthday.
is the dawn of a new eon.
It's the dawn of a new eon or something like that.
None of us can stand on the sidelines.
None of us can stand on the sidelines, and none of them do.
Especially those of us with the power to bend the world to our will.
To bend the world to their will. You see, man has no free will. So the opposite of that is to bend the world to your will. They do that through spiritual exercises, through a series of meditation, connecting to the spirit world through whatever type of experience that they do it. In the Know Your Enemy series, it was simply through that special IHS folks over there in that church over there in the middle of Italy that has the big guy named the POPE. They're called spiritual exercises. That's what Know Your Enemy, the series that got me started in coming out of the world. So that's
how many miles to Babylon?
How many miles to Babylon? Michael, that would be something good to quote. I mean, good to research in gematria. How many miles to Babylon? And you might have to spell Babylon, B-A-B-A-L-O-N, instead of the B-A-B-Y. I would do both and just see if anything pops up. And thank you, my friend. But see, there's just a lot of tells. There's a lot of tells. And see, that was a lot of wolf stuff there. Okay. The guy had wolf coming out of his face. I mean, he was becoming a werewolf. And they killed that wolf on a full moon. So that's big time stuff right there. I'm not sure why I went to that clip, but once I clicked it, that's where it took me. Dr. J. U. Rex. Y'all can look at that there. Unpoked. Bugdolf Brothers comes to 119. Ugly Bugadolfi Die of COVID comes to 119. Ugly Bugadolfi Brothers comes to 888. Bugadolfi COVID comes to 666. Influenza CORONA comes to 666. COVID 19. And then the number spelled out comes to 666 in Chaldean. Thank you, Dr. Rex. So I guess the 17th wolf full moon is in play. Yeah. Okay. So it was June 24th, 2021 at 1:25 a.m. that it fell. And that was the time of the strawberry moon, which is your June full moon. But that particular month, the strawberry moon was in Cancer. I'm sorry, Capricorn. Sometimes the strawberry moon would be in Sagittarius. Like Trump was born with the strawberry moon, the June full moon. I guess that's why the Beatles sang Strawberry Fields Forever, because that's Trump's full moon he was born under. So that's interesting. Not sure what that was. Teen Wolf. Now 17. This wolf full moon. Now don't forget that's Back to the Future, which is all about Trump. And the kid did a movie called Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf movie. It's 1985. Michael J. Fox. August 23rd, 1985. Okay. Wolf full moon goes Back to the Future. Well, I mean, again, that's my number one day as of today, since nothing happened. Well, it was my number one day anyway, and then I said the 9th is my second day. Transfer portal commercial. 4 goes into the portal, 17 comes out. That's 44 solid days. The Dark Knights, American Association of Movies, you know, they have that number at the end of the credits. This number was 44427. There's got to be some meaning there. The Academy Association of Motion Pictures, something like that. That was the number they gave it. I played on Teamsters 444. I don't know what that for, you know, there's a lot of different things with the 44. But it is from the solar eclipse through to the wolf full moon is 44 days. Saban about to get the 7th title, Alabama, 8th overall. It was LSU, Eye of the Tiger. 7 Kings. The 8th is of the 7 Revelation, 1711. My right eye. Yeah, already talked about that. Some of the stuff with Earl. Earl's, then there's the Earl in Hollywood. Earl Holliman, Ghost in the Machine, Sharky's Machine. He had 5 kids. We've been going over that. Michael did those. Okay, the wolf full moon is on the 17th day of the year and in the 17th month. Start over. The wolf full moon is on the 17th day of the month and the 17th day of the year. The letter Q is the 17th letter. And I picked goat. We need to research the Hunger Games and it's in and out. So Michael did that. Okay. Just a little photo covering the right eye. What does that spell? Already went over that with y'all. And on his birthday, the ADOLF on his birthday. And Steve Spurrier's birthday, representing the 7 Kings. That's when it all started at University of Florida. They started winning championships. They never had one before that. It's all, oh, it's 718. Very good. What does that spell? And that's when the abomination of desolation is, assuming he goes down between now and then. There's Howl at the Moon. A piano bar of 88 keys. That reminds me, I need to go get my cell phone and look up Jamie's comments. And because Jamie contributes a lot, she doesn't always do it in comments, but she will. Yeah. Here's the Howl at the Moon stuff. And look at what he just posted, how crazy. Nicolas Cage was in the news saying a horse named, oh, the Rain Man stuff. Okay, we'll get to that. Good stuff, Jamie. So who is Rain Man, or what is Rain Man? So we'll get to that. That's in my prep here. Howl at the Moon. It's a piano bar with 88 keys. They're all over the US. There's one in Chicago. There's one right here in Orlando. A piano has 88 keys, and it's a piano bar, and it's called Howl at the Moon. And it's always the wolves that howl at the moon. So again with that, right? And Jamie sent me this clip.
Hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit. Hold them like they.
So you see the wolf right there. Now it's looking like a lunar eclipse type full moon. And yeah, we can move on from that. But I appreciated Jamie. She looked that up after we had spoke about it. Christian said, something I realized yesterday, if you look at the Treaty of Versailles, a lot of the same numbers we keep seeing are important articles. Article 45, Article 119, especially also Article 156, 42, June 28th, 1919, 240 pages. It was just very interesting. I don't know if y'all saw that in the comments. I'm not going to read it all, but it was just interesting, and I appreciate you, Michael. I sent it to, I appreciate it, Christian. I sent it to Michael also. And Michael really remarked that Christian really puts a lot of good content in here with us. So Franz Ferdinand was a shot heard around the world, and this was the Black Eyed Peas Franz Ferdinand opening at the Grammys one year. And Franz Ferdinand's song was Take Me Out. So it was Maroon 5, Black Eyed Peas, Gwen, Eve. But it was Franz Ferdinand too. Anyway, I've got that to watch, and I'll watch it, but shot heard around the world by the band by the name Franz Ferdinand released Take Me Out on January 12th. They opened the Grammys. I'd sent this to Michael concerning that shot heard around the world and Franz Ferdinand. Because Franz Ferdinand is a band, and they had a song called Take Me Out. That's January 12th that was released. He goes down on the 12th. That's basically one of the few tells about the 12th that we've been given. But they're tricky. If January passes, the February 3rd seems to point to issues, though the second looms, because of, in the movie Groundhog Day, he says to her on Groundhog Day, what if tomorrow the world ended? A bomb exploded. But the 13th Super Bowl day and the snow full moon. Yeah, and I went into Earl's numbers. Earl was a person shot by his mom. Her name was Rathema Augustus. And Earl was born on 7/27. And iPet Goat is 7/27 in length. And if y'all been following the candy, the 88 of that whole thing with my second wife, that the Lord drew me into numbers whenever I was a child. And it's not anything with numerology. It's its own numeric language that the Lord gave me since I was a kid, and it's just sort of ever been growing. But Earl's number is 37044. Well, if you go 37 days through the portal, you land on the solar eclipse of December 4th. And then it's a 44-day cycle over to the wolf full moon. I don't know what the word I'm just trying to say, but what Earl's number is really telling us is the same as the transfer portal commercial by Dr. Pepper. 37 days back through the portal. Now go up 44 days to the wolf full moon. And you got a 0 in the middle for a full moon, perhaps. And he was born, Earl was born on 7/27, which is the length of IPEC Goat. IPEC Goat specific from the Heliofont site on their YouTube channel is 7/27 in length. $7.27. So also, or the solar eclipse going back through, but you go back through 37 days the other way, you land on the snow full moon, and the 44th day of the year is Super Bowl Sunday. So Earl's number 37044 is either pointing to the solar eclipse and the wolf full moon, or Earl's number is pointing to the snow full moon, which is the 16th, and the 44th day of the year, which is Super Bowl Sunday, 3 days before the snow full moon. It's very interesting because Earl's death through this numbering system took me through the 88 marriage, the 86ing of the 88 specific, and everything about Earl's death and the marriage that it pointed to, because Earl died on May 8th. Remember, I got married at 585 address. I've shown y'all that many times. Ooh, it's 7:27 right now. Ooh. But Earl died on May 8th, 58. Trump's all about the 58s. And the address I got married on, where I married the 88, it was her 88 marriage, because her first marriage to her first husband, their combined numbers came to 871. So this 87, the next progression of 87 is 88. Or her marriage number was 8, and her second marriage would be 88. So I was her 88 in 2 different directions, 2 different ways. And when you look at my number, 7 times 6 times 1961, you have the 8 and the 36. Well, 8 is the triangular number of 36, and 36 is the triangular number of 666. The only 2 numbers left are the 2 and the 2, and we did divorce on Groundhog Day. And I've been reliving that divorce just like that guy, getting better and better, just like he did. He kept getting better. He became more and more refined every day going through this process based off of that divorce. And that divorce is numerically what the Lord showed me is what took me, it was part of my salvational process. Earl's death, the marriage, the divorce, and then the calling, leading us, and it all pointed to Trump. It all pointed to the end times Antichrist. I've shared it with Michael in much more deeper detail, and he said it all made sense to him. So that was a little refreshing, you know. District 22 school bus, that was the bus that Joker escaped in. 22 days through the portal is the Chinese New Year. Portals back to the 19th when Damien had all those 666s. The original Damien Thorne character, he was like, there was 666 days old with his weeks and his days, or with his months and his days. December 7th, portals to Super Bowl Sunday. So when you portal to December 7th, when you portal back to December 7th, it portals forward to Super Bowl Sunday. It's very interesting. 34 days through the portal, by the way. Now, Georgia's victory over Florida was 34-7 this year. We thought that was very weird. So since Earl is 37044 to 30, I think I've gone over that with y'all. Why does it portal back to November 27th? I'm not following that. Hang on, let me pause. Another way to look at Earl's number, the 37 and the 44. So the 37 portals to snow, full moon, and solar eclipse. 44 portals through to November 27th and portals up to February 23rd, which is on a Wednesday. That's 223, which is the opposite of 322. And it is on a Wednesday, the train wreck day. And remember, my second wife and I, we had this anomaly where my year times my month times my day times her year times her month times her day times each year. When I met her, there was a 27 and a 127 in the number, but in the middle was 626, 126, and had been for 10 or 12 years beforehand. And then for the next 10 or 12 years, it rotates from 626. It evolves from 626 to 627. It evolves from 126 to 127, and then stays 627, 127, 627, 127, 627, 120, all the way through, ending in 2022, which was our street address. We lived at 2015 Brentwood Drive, Auburndale, Florida, 33823-2022. So our address had the years 2015, when Trump announced his presidency, to 2022, which we think the next 9/11 will take place. And our combined number with the year has the 127 in the middle, but it fuses with 1127, which is 44 days back through the portal. And if you go forward, like we just said, it's February 23rd, which, if nothing happens, during Valentine's Day and there's no full moon, then you will take a look at February 23rd. But 2001 isn't our number. So is 216, our combined number with the year, for 2022. So since the twin Trumps went down in 2001, does he now, because 2001 is in the number. So the Lord showed me all of these numbers ever since I was a kid. And like I said, it had been ever evolving to learn stuff. And if we look at, I remember after 9/11, if you look at mine and hers combined number times 2002, the year after 9/11, there was a 9/11 in our combined number, but not the year of it, the year after it. But I hadn't met her. I didn't know her at that time. So let's keep going. The Birmingham Stallions, the Stallions, White Horse. Stallone was known as the Italian Stallion. Christian Schultz, that's the Treaty of Versailles. Article again there for sure. Charlie Brown had said something that I shared with Michael. I think I shared it with y'all. That all the year of the Tigers, you had the Haiti earthquake, you had Chernobyl, Korean War, and of course Franz Ferdinand, the assassination that began World War I. So that would then mean he's not going down until the year of the Tiger, because it's not the year of the Tiger till February 1st. So nothing would happen on the full moon if all that's in play. Wolf Moon comes to Apocalypse, Antichrist Superstar, Kobe Bryant. Wolf Moon 2022 comes to 119, which would be when he rises on the third day and they turn on the technology. That's why it's my number one choice right now, the Wolf Full Moon is. Anything. When I used to do astrology, the natal charts, people born on a full moon, their life was just that. Their life was a full moon. And of course, Trump was born on a full moon. Well, if the book of Revelation is opened on a full moon, then its natal chart is very full moonish. And if you read the book of Revelation, it looks like how people describe a full moon day in an emergency room or at a school. It's just crazy. And the earth, of course, would get crazy. So I like the fact that he would go down on, actually on a full moon, which would mean this 17th or this 16th of February or 17th of January. Michael Jack said, Antichrist Superstar comes to President Donald J. Trump, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's on 117 or the wolf full moon. So again, big time stuff points to that wolf full moon. And again, that's why it's my #1 day right now. The movie The Prestige had 404 pages in the script. Karen Valentine, room 222. I think we already explored her. It's all about Eve. I think we went over that too already. The Angel White video. Angel White commented on this particular video asking, why do you think
I've
I'm
got this on a
AI?
playlist now. I am.
Angel White replied, I don't think people will take it like that. Most people will think that you're trying to imply that I'm part of the system or something. Definitely, and I can't spell. So I definitely refer to Shaking My Head Productions as AI. I have referred to Angel White as AI because the work is a little too amazing, I guess you can say. And you wouldn't be part of the system if you're AI. You would be AI. You would be the system. That's Sicario and that wolf, right? I mean, do you see how there seems to be more tells concerning the wolf full moon than anything else? That his last appearance would be near Phoenix as just sort of getting you ready for what's going to happen 2 days later when he gets taken out. I mean, do you see how all of that would work? So Donnie Darko had a calendar that ended on the 15th. Angel White was exposing that The Simpsons had a calendar that ended on the 15th of January. And it was the same exact calendar of this year. You know, January 1st starts on a Saturday, just like it did this year. So, and Angel White then fused in Trump's face in that calendar as being Duff. And my friend Adam did a video about Duff being Trump. Duke Nukem, I mean, Duke Nukem being Trump. So it was very, anyway. Glad he commented back. That was interesting. Christian Schultz said, the Hippocratic Oath, I swear by Apollo the physician and Archipolis the surgeon, likewise Hygiena and Panacea, and call all the gods and goddesses to witness that I will observe and keep this underwritten oath the utmost of my power and judgment, and reverence my master who taught me the art, Apollo. Revelation 9:11. They had a king over the bottomless pit. Sounds like a warning about the Illness industry. Most definitely, Christian. Yeah, thank you for that. That's good stuff, man. Hang on just a quick second. I gotta clear my throat. A little something to drink here. Jamie said April 9 plus 11 equals 20. Gives you 9/11. That's interesting. That was her comment. It's based off the year of the rabbit, which will be, you know, Frank the Rabbit and all that rabbit stuff. That's when the abomination of desolation is, during the Chinese year of the rabbit. And that's why Easter has always been associated with rabbits, and Easter is on April 9th. If you go up 11 days, you do land. That is a 9/11 combo. And you do land on that total solar eclipse on Adolf Hitler's birthday, who was of the Seven Kings, according to Angel White. Angel White's the one that showed us this. And I argued, a little misleading with Darius III. It's actually Darius the Mede. Jamie also said, funny, the comment about Resident Evil and the Umbrella Corporation reminds me of that track down. The Trump character is selling special umbrellas to save the town folks from meteors. Also, I recall Donald Trump visiting Arlington Cemetery, standing in front of the only headstone with an infinity sign holding his umbrella, like a new metaverse. It stood out to me. Umbrellas are often used in magic. I think it also has something to do with one of Satan's names being Rain Man. Everything is connected, absolutely. Which brought me to this. This was something, look at the date, y'all, July 22nd, 2013. I told you the Lord brought me out in 2012 out of the world. I stopped having intercourse about almost a year before that, but was nowhere near where I'm at today because we're constantly repenting. But this was by an Islamic group, and it's almost like the word Farrakhan, Farhank 501. And it's on Vimeo. If anybody wants it, just email me and I'll get it to you.
Well, if you find one, you find one. Well.
So I got the music too loud. I mean, the volume too high, excuse me.
I mean, the only other question I have is, like, what do I do if I find myself?
Now, this is Eminem, who's at our halftime show this year.
In a situation where.
Now, I will tell you, this thing is very dark to watch because of the music that they have in the background, but they're exposing the music industry, and they do an amazing job of exposing the music industry. It says they have a YouTube site. I'll look for that, I guess. It's probably taken down by now. Who knows? There's a lot of reading involved. You have to pause it. And he's going to get into Rain Man here.
If I do come back.
If I do come back, I'm going to come back as Rain Man.
You know, my new name will be.
These people are so evil, man.
What's your name gonna be? Rain Man.
So.
Become what I became a champion. Rain Man is back. Back chicks with a rainy day. Rain Man is back.
Rain Man is back. And this was the song Umbrella by Rihanna.
Back with Little Miss Sunshine.
So this video series actually would slow stuff down and show you how devil horns would come out of this out of the video. Commentary, fair use commentary for educational purposes. Ella, which that's something that probably a lot of stuff in that gematria. So there's the umbrella, Jamie, right? So when she spoke to that, I really thought, oh boy, let's see if I can go find that series. And there it was. Well, I was hoping we would get to what I was looking for, but I guess making it rain, Rain Man. So it's all about umbrellas and Rain Mans, and this thing here just shows song after song. You just can't imagine who all has actually said Rain Man. Doesn't matter if it's rock, heavy metal, doesn't matter. Rap. Commentary, fair use commentary for educational purposes. Release me, oh. Rain Man, release me. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. This is the game, Cali Sunshine. We make it rain like Rain Man.
We make it rain like Rain Man.
Rain Man from the hills of Hades, Wasp, the burning. Rain Man from the hills of Hades. So, and Bob Dylan had Rain Man in a few of them. I think the Ghost Machine wrote most all of his amazing poetry. Now the Rain Man, of course, I say that facetiously. He's known as one of the greatest poets of all time. Now the Rain Man gave me 2 cures, then said, jump right in.
Rain Man gave me 2 cures.
So you get the idea. I don't want this video to be my 2-hour video that I did. When did I start? 6 something, right? So it's getting there. I will email this to anybody that wants it. Just holla, let me know. NFL's first ever week 18 is right now. It just took place. Final game is right now. King Don's, somebody sent me. Did Michael send me this? No, somebody did in but that's Don, the king. Excuse me. I needed that. Rico's time is now in gematria in a Rico case. And Michael gave us that yesterday. It was in the video. RICO, Rico's time is now in a Rico case in the Dark Knight. And he gave us that yesterday. We went through that in gematria. Rico's time is now in the Germinator. You had the numbers that were associated with it in Germinator were 191, 74. That's 37 plus 37 through the portal. Again, that 37, 37 through the portal. 187 and 88. So all of them have meaning except the 191. But if you scramble it around, you do get the 911 or 119 combo also. So if Rico's time is now, that wolf full moon would be big time. Seder Square, November 2nd is a match. Excuse me, November 2nd is a match for Seder Square. I guess that portals to March 20th. On the 3rd day is Spring 322. Oh, okay. It's Seder Square, y'all, which is what the movie Tenet was all about, which was Christopher Nolan's big movie that pointed us to the transfer portal. Without Christopher Nolan doing the movie Tenet, 10 moving in both directions, I never would have been able to come up with the transfer portal. So through the Holy Spirit, through their stuff, you know, be ye as wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves, thanks to their, you know, the elder shall serve the younger, as Vanessa's told me. They're all here for us. And the main thing that their job is to do is to hate us. The world hated me before it hated you, but I've called you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Well, if the world never hates you, then you're not his. So you have to be hated by the world. You have to suffer tribulation. We all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. That's Acts 14:22, which is my phone number. So what are you going to do? The 1422, my phone number. And 22 was the divorce date. Yes. District 22 comes off that school bus. Groundhog Day. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff coming up, but that November, the Seder Square does come to November 2nd. And November 2nd portals over to March 20th. If he goes down on March 20th and would rise on day 322, he would die in the winter and rise in the spring. Don't count stuff like that out if nothing happens in January or February. Besides November 2nd, the other dates or the other things in gematria were June 14, which is Trump's birthday, Lord of the Flies, and Denver Broncos. That all comes up in gematria with Seder Square. That's big. That's what the movie Tenet was about the Seder Square, period. Period, point blank. That's what that movie was about. The Seder Square. Or Rotos Square, which is the opposite of Seder. It has all these, there's the picture of it, and it's going backwards and forwards like opera. The movie opened up in an opera. And that's the reverse of opera is another word. And then there's tenet, which is in there, which is 10 in both directions. Just like the month of Janus goes in both directions. And that's and it's actually in the middle, which is perfect because the transfer portal is in the middle, Janus tenet. So yeah, it was just through all this kind of stuff that the Lord showed me the transfer portal. The fact that Seder Square comes to June 14 and Lord of the Flies and Denver Broncos besides November 2nd is big for November 2nd, which portals over to March 20th. And it could be as simple as that. That could be the only clue they gave us about March 20th. And it would be the only one we would need when the time comes. Can we remember all that? So the full moon is the 18th of March. So he would rise no, that doesn't make sense. I went backwards in my head. So yeah, it's a waning gibbonus. That's all I can tell you. If he was to go down on that day and then rise on the third day on the spring, 322, it's still a waning gibbonus. So it doesn't really give us anything with moons. And maybe the fact that because the only thing that gives us a full moon is, you know, IPEC goat, really, him twirling up through that full moon and the strange angel thing, but he was born on a full moon. So it could all just mean him when you see the full moon. if that makes sense. So these are other dates we'll look at. That March 20th will be a date we'll look at. The 4718. Rethema Augustus. Last name Augustus in the Germinator comes to deadly wound. The lady that killed Earl, his mom. You get 1117, which is deadly wound verse. You get 1194, and you get 199. 99 Luft Balloons, and 99 a song by Toto. Rethema is re the ma. Mama Mia, you killed your son. And when I was watching The Dark Knight the day before I told my wife I was going to divorce her, she was with my first wife in the movie theater watching Mamma Mia. No, you can't make it up. And ABBA just put out their 40th album. Just put out an album for the first time in 40 years. So it's like it's all connected. Brokeback Mountain. If I'm not mistaken, this would this not be Donnie Darko raping the Joker? Because Donnie Darko is played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and there's like a romantic rape scene where he's having sex with Heath Ledger. And that's the end of my prep. That's a heck of one to end on, isn't it? So Brokeback Mountain. I mean, those two characters are strong. That's Donnie Darko and the Joker. The two biggest movies about the deadly wound is The Darkened Night, which we showed his right eye being utterly darkened, and Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays Donnie Darko, which stands for Donald Darkened. This is not a mistake, or excuse me, a coincidence when these things happen like that, because they all go, as they bounce around in different movies, they're playing the same satanic type esoteric character. And Ang Lee has done a lot of their big time Oscar type movies. He did Sense and Sensibility, The Ice Storm, Ride with the Devil, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There you go. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ang Lee. And he did Brokeback Mountain. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. He did The Hulk or Hulk, Brokeback Mountain. Film called Lust, Caution, Life of Pi. He did Life of Pi. Ang Lee, IMDb. Ang Lee, IMDb. Oh, so you're going to be racist. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Release date, May 18th, July 7th, July 8th, July 13th, December 8th. Exactly 2 hours, 120 minutes. He did most famous for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Life of Pi. Lust, Caution. I watched that. Brokeback Mountain. Those are the top 4 that they named for him. Thriller in Manila is announced. He did Gemini Man. That's Trump. I mean, good grief. Are these people ever easy to figure out, track, and follow? Taking Woodstock, Brokeback Mountain. Yes, that was one of our first dates with me and 88 Candy. And then we go see, and then we go see The Dark Knight, but she goes to see Mamma Mia. And the next day, announce the separation. Like I told Mike, I was a huge movie buff, as y'all can probably tell. And of course, now I know what that it's all about. But before the Lord called me, Oscar night was my biggest night. I had to see all the Oscar movies when they were out of the theaters. They would put them all out in the theaters before the Oscars. And I'd go see every one of them. And Brokeback Mountain was up for all these awards, so I went to see it with her. It's a very weird movie to watch, very awkward movie to watch. The Higher, Hulk, Sense and Sensibility, Chosen, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ride with the Devil. So you got Ride with the Devil, Ice Storm, Sense and Sensibility, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, The Wedding Banquet, Pushing Hands, Fine Line, I Wish I Was by the Dim Lake, Beat the Artist, I Love Chinese Food, and The Runner. So Ali's Thriller in Manila, all that stuff had meaning in their world. All stage set up. Ali in his boxing career was like the entire movie industry, which then moves over to Stallone, Eye of the Tiger. Boxing is one of their big things, along with football and boxing. And of course, the UFC. UFC's got 270 and 271 coming up. I think I hit 271. No, it was 271 times UFC. And we got the 586. It was 586 BC. When Israel was taken over by Babylon, which would sort of be like what's going to happen when the book of Revelation is open. This whole earth is going to be like Israel being grabbed and taken captive. Nothing will ever be the same again. Now, nothing's been the same since the illness came, but that's just the prelude. It's like, when the wedding party, the bride and groom and the wedding party, they all take pictures before the wedding to get it out of the way, so they're not delayed to go eat. Well, getting those pictures the wedding hadn't started yet. That's just the pre. It's just the warm up. Everything begins when he goes down in a staged fake. Anyway, I know we didn't go 2 hours this time because I think it was 6:17, 6:19 we started. All right, love y'all very much. Good stuff. Keep them coming. Love your comments. We can check and see if there's been any more. And 2 more did come up. All right. Fortune favors the brave comes to 88 miles per hour. There you go. Nice job, Michael. January Super Bowl Wolf Moon I'm sorry, January super wolf full moon. I'm not sure if super is applicable for this coming wolf full moon. Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl. Yeah, it sure looks like it's going to be Dallas, doesn't it? Because Dak Prescott's the one that went inside the transfer portal. Number 4, go State. And remember, State played Tech, which is exactly what the transfer portal commercial was. State against Tech. That's what all of Fansville is. And you had that game on New Year's Eve. Mississippi State, Texas Tech bowl game. It was the same score as Florida, Georgia, that 34-7. There's something about that 34-7 score. It's not by accident. Because Florida represents the Antichrist and Georgia represents the club. You got the big G on their helmet. So that 34-7. And then you had State playing Tech in Fansville, which is the transfer portal commercial. State versus Tech. Dak Prescott wearing the maroon Mississippi State jersey is the character that goes into the transfer portal commercial. That's why you think it's going to be Dallas Cowboys.
On a spooky Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Sheriff, come quick. Rico's about to enter the transfer.
Rico. A Rico case.
Rico, you don't need to transfer.
You've seen the latest step.
Number 4 in the Mississippi State maroon is Dak Prescott. He wore 15. Now you got to think about that 15 for this coming 15th. He wears 4 now for the Dallas Cowboys.
I'd be lucky to play it down this year.
But you're only a sophomore. There's still time.
Rico's time is now. Transfer portal archway. Y'all know how big this transfer portal is? Y'all know how close to the Holy Spirit we've got to be connected for him to have shown us all of this, what the transfer portal means. There's nobody else doing this. There's no YouTube channel anywhere on the earth that's doing what we do here, y'all. That's why when we tell you God doesn't love everybody, when Jesus said only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, John 3:16 was falsely translated. For God so loved cosmos in the Greek, and the first definition of cosmos is what God so loved, not what the Catholic Erasmus transcribed in Textus Receptus, which was what was used to write King James. Jesus is the word. Jesus spoke in parables. The word of God is a parable. You can only figure out the truth spiritually. With spiritual discernment, it tells you that in 1 Corinthians 2:14.
Rico's time is now.
Missed it, y'all. That represents time travel, though, I think. But yeah, I missed it. I always want to hit it right there.
You know, never really saw much upside with Rico.
Whoa. And there's the wolf full moon. So 4 goes in. It's Dak Prescott's current number, not the number he wore at Mississippi State. He wore 15. And what pops out? The 17. But State goes in, Tech comes out.
Hey, anybody need a punter?
It's coming through the archway.
We're good. Oh, brought Dr. Pepper.
Which has 88. It's a 23. Now 23 days through the portal, which as he's standing at the portal, takes you back to the cold full moon or up to Groundhog Day. And I think Dr. Pepper is 1883 or 1880 something. There's a series on TV called 1883 right now. TV series 1883. TV series 1883. This is the new It. Faith Hill's in it, Tim McGraw, Sam Elliott, Billy Bob Thornton. Oh boy, everybody's all into this. Dr. Pepper, 1883. So there's certainly something about the 23 and the 1883. This says 1885, my bad. But it does have the 88 in it and the 23. So Dr. Pepper is 1885. Okay.
Welcome to state.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Yeah, 1885. So that's some very freaky stuff, man. This whole transfer portal thing. Fortune favors the brave comes to 88 miles per hour. January, super wolf moon. Well, if he goes down, it's super. No, the next super full moon is on Trump's birthday, which might be why super comes through it. June 14th, super full moon. Super moon, June 14th. There will be 2 super moons in 2022, the super strawberry moon and the super buck moon. So they're back to back in June and July. It's interesting. Not really giving us the chart. I do have one that is a chart. But anyway, in 2022, it's Tuesday, June 14th, Trump's birthday, and Wednesday, July 13th. Usually backs up a day, the full moons do. Like it's on the 17th this month, the 16th next month. But of course, the 28 days in February throws it back off. Then it sort of gets on schedule again. It's usually a formula of subtracting a day, give or take a day. Thank you for all that, Michael. That's good stuff. William Mason says they also activate the 5th generation. Absolutely, they do. Yeah, they do. William, good to hear from you, my friend. All right, thanks everybody for your hard work. Michael, thank you again. Christian, thank you. And William, and everybody else I mentioned, Dr. Rex, Jamie, Chief. I hope you're still there, Chief. All right, love y'all very much. We almost went 2 hours now, I think.